Here we go. AKA Padders, welcome back to the channel. Peter A. DeLuca here, your resident guy. If you're a dude on the internet, if you're a lady, I'm your guy. But here we talk pop culture, we talk comic books, we talk a little bit of that drama. We do live streams, a lot of cool theme days, just all these reasons to subscribe. With that said, I put these up while I've been talking, and I want to get right to this point. Community. I hate saying that word, but let's just say comic book creator community. These are individuals that do not work for any of the big two. Most of them don't even work for the top five. People out there hustling crowdfunding with minute success. On one side of the spectrum, we have the measuring stick of the work of R. Crumb. R. Crumb. And you think someone would have made a cracker with that name by now, but they haven't. I'm sure the licensing fees are cheap. And then the flip side to that coin is the Watchmen. What I consider to be, and it's so easily considered, just the greatest comic book effort regarding superheroes. Superheroes is in quotes with Watchmen. Or maybe can we use an asterisk like they have for that new Thunderbolts movie? So a lot of this, if you haven't seen the title of this video, if you haven't seen the thumbnail, the question is, are we living in a delusion? It's not a simulation. We're not living in a simulation. We're living in a delusion. Because with these two items as a measuring stick, we get the two types of comic books an individual can make. They fall within one of these two categories. You're either trying to do superheroes, or you're trying not to do superheroes. And that's it, okay? So, with these indie guys, right, we give them time to develop, and we always hope that their work becomes as good as R. Crumb and Watchmen. And some of them get freaking close. But here's the thing. When we look at their work, like, with a real set of eyes, we can see the seeds of what's there. And we can just hope that these seeds will spur out from the ground and get into a mighty oak, create a mighty oak. So, like, the bones are there. The bones of the talent, the understanding, the application, the craftsmanship, the bones are there. So we can say that on the superhero side, we can say that on the underground comic book side. And then some of these people, they move on. Or they become amazingly successful on crowdfunding. I'm backing away from the webtoon side of this, because I believe the people that absorb webtoons, they're a different market than what these two markets are going for. So we collectively talk to these people, we promote them, we actually do live streams with them. Like, these are things that the community does. Some of the community will have one live stream with 10 people on. And collectively, their books are garbage. That's the delusion. Because they're not told that the books are garbage. They're not told that their positioning, their methodology as a publisher, the internal company philosophy, or, some people might say branding. We're not told that's delusional. We're not told that they don't have a good enough eye to make a good looking book. It's one delusion layer on top of a delusion layer. It's a delusion cake. And I love cake. In the Amish market down here at the writing terminal, there's pie cakes where they drop a pie in a cake batter mold, and it's like some of the best stuff. especially if it's like a chocolate pudding pie in there. So, just guys, random, being very random there. Yeah. So, what are we doing? Where's where's the growth? See, the delusional people one time when they were on the comic book convention circuit, we'll say, and they were in Diamond previews, they got rubbed out really quick. And then they would just disappear from the convention circuit. Every once in a while, you would get a independent that wasn't delusional, that had a good eye, that had a good sense, that had a good methodology, understood the craftsmanship side, understood textile when it just comes to the print quality. But they got the entire process, and those guys, Jeff Smith, Brian Polito, it's a good list, that really came up through the 80s and emerged right on scene for the 90s. We don't have modern day equivalents of those people. We have successful crowdfunding campaigns that produce horrible work. We have unsuccessful crowdfunding campaigns that produce superior work. But on the surface, everyone is told they're doing a great job. Everyone is told things look good, they read good. If we were just to take, and only because I can talk about this, because I've read it, if we take like a lot of controversy around Eric July's The Ripper versus Isom. It frustrated people because they expected a professional book. And when he got that delusion lever pulled, it created an internet war, right? It divided the comic book community harshly. And it should, it shouldn't be like that. It should really come back. But there's a delusion there. We can there's a definite commentary and a agreement on that delusion. I believe in that delusion because I've read those books. But along the way, right, a lot of these creators, they showcase their artwork. They make themselves available. They make their thoughts available. And no one is told they're delusional. No one tells them that. No one tells them that, hey, treat this as a hobby. Just treat it as a hobby. If you care about your product, take your time to put out a good product. Don't be afraid to say no. Do not be afraid to be a publisher for your own book. But they're delusional because they're kind of like, if you guys ever have that friend that hasn't, gotten it in a while, and you see what he settles for, and you just want to slap him and say, look, get over your dry spell, but you got to get on to greener pastures. Put that lure back into the ocean. Come back with another fish. That's where we are. There's just, off of my peepers, my perception, the independent ranks are not where they should be or not where they can be with the available talent that's out there. With the available knowledge, with what can happen when these things are organized in a collective. Yes, I know you guys have your own Discord. You guys have some of your own Facebook groups where these things are openly discussed. But at the same time, everything regarding the quality of your book should be, the precept for that should be, is it delusional or is it not? And answer those questions. You ask that question 5 times. Is it delusional? Is it delusional? Is it delusional? 5 times. I guarantee you will get a good product. That's what we have to do. And here's the first step. If you guys want like a 0 issue for this, ask yourself. If you're asking yourself if it's delusional, you gotta ask yourself those 5 questions.